have to be willing to take accountability for the outcome of your success, and that means dealing with obstacles and criticisms. Blaming others for not reaching your goal is pointless. It is your goal, and you were the only one who could reach it. For the record, Nat never said any of that. So, but he lived it, and he taught it to us. And to me, that's the essence of Nat Doherty. I want to give you a couple perspectives on that. First as a coach, and then as a person. As a coach, Nat, competitive, driven, focused, and Irish. Completely the temperament. That was Nat. I was fortunate enough to play for Nat beginning in 1971. We had a team laden with upperclassmen. Seniors like Bob Connor. Bob's here. There's a guy I never met a shot he didn't like. Rick Betts, who drove down from Wilmington. Thanks, Rick. Jimmy McCabe, John Garr. Juniors Mike Krosick and Dan Rendine. You're going to hear from those guys in a few minutes. Ray Turchi, Bob O'Hara. Sophomores Ed Butler, who came back tonight. Myself, Billy Walters, Gene Wisdowski. And Gene was a guy who later joined the 1,000-point club. So I think you get the image that we're a pretty talent-laden, pretty deep team back in 1971. And you would think with all that talent and all that depth, we'd have a pretty easy waltz to the championship. But there was one problem. The Mason-Dixon Conference was full of great teams and great players. But Knapp understood the hand that he was dealt and understood the strengths and weaknesses of each player and employed his philosophy of building on strengths while supporting weaknesses and coached accordingly. We ended that season defeating the Mount not once, not twice, but an unprecedented 3 times. And we finished that tournament defeating the defending national champ college division team, Loyola, to take home our first Mason-Dixon title in 18 years. And incidentally, 18 years earlier when Loyola claimed that crown, Nat Doherty was a member of that team. And you know you had great players when they graduate and leave campus. They get to leave their laundry behind. Tonight, when you go into the gym, take a look in the rafters. There hangs a jersey from Bob Connor and a jersey from Mike Krosick as testimony to the legacy of their greatness while they played here. I want to contrast that 71 team with the 73 team. A team I was privileged to captain, but a team that was laden not with upperclassmen, but with freshmen and sophomores. Freshmen like Mark Rohde, who's here tonight, Jimmy Smith, who was mentioned earlier, Mars Cannon, who's here, Rodney Floyd, who's here, a sophomore, Kevin Robinson, Gene Wisdowski, as I mentioned, Ed Butler and myself were the only 2 seniors. And we were a ragtag group who, frankly, we struggled. We had a tough year, as you would expect from a young team. Our struggles were personified by the fact that we lost our last 7 regular season games. So going into the Mason-Dixon Conference tournament, we were much farther than a long shot to win anything. But enter Nat Doherty and enter Nap's magic. 3 tournament games later, and just to add a little more drama to this thing, the first 2 games were big upsets. The 3rd game, the championship game, went into double overtime. And with it, our win, we brought home our 2nd title in 3 years. And I want this to go on the record. For the first time in Loyola's history, we were invited to the NCAA tournament. Woo! Not the 93 team, the 73 team. And now a few words about Nap the person. Not many people think of Nap as a gambler or a risk taker, but who else would venture into places like the Bronx, Brooklyn, South Philly, North Philly, East Philly, who knows where else, just trying to find the right pieces, the right cards to deal. Who else risked their entire career on the decision-making ability of a bunch of 18-year-old boys? That's a risk taker. But Nap offered us an opportunity not only to play basketball at the next level, but to get an education. And not just an education at a school taught by Jesuits. And not just any school, that school was Loyola. If you thought Nap was a game changer on the court, his real legacy lies with the changes he made in each of the lives of the players he coached. When I was preparing this talk, believe it or not, I thought of a poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. Now, I didn't see Sue Abramitis here, but I'm sure if she were here, she'd be smiling to note that I actually remembered something from my sophomore English lit classes. I pictured Nap decorated with green and gray. And he was motioning to us and beckoning us to follow him and take that road less traveled by. Because in my life, and for so many other people like me, that road and Nat made all the difference. Nat, congratulations on your recognition. Long overdue. Thanks for taking the risk, and thanks for the opportunity.